What's up, everybody? Welcome to your first King's Speech podcast video exclusive. It's your boy Trev here. Next week, our decade is over. It's done. The 2010s are over. And a lot of us are going to take this time between now and next week to figure out what we really valued in this decade, what things really stood out to us. Of course, here at the King's Speech podcast, the thing that is always a part of us is our hip hop culture and our hip hop music. So for me, when I look back on the 2010s, I think of some of the greatest albums from some of the best artists that had me blasting the music in my Honda at ridiculous levels. So we're going to take you through my top 10 hip hop albums of the 2010s. Lock in, enjoy. Feel free to debate me. You probably won't be right or convince me otherwise, but I definitely welcome the discussion. Let's lock in. When we look back and think about the 2010s, we're going to probably think about friends we had, friends we lost, relationships we had, relationships we lost, money we had, money we lost, a bunch of different shit, but none of that really matters. The only thing that really mattered in the 2010s were these bars and these beats and these hip hop albums that dropped. We got a lot of great content in the 2010s for hip hop, a lot of great albums, a lot of great new artists that emerged from the dust and are probably some of our top 10, top 15 MCs of all time right now. We're going to start out at number 10, Watch the Throne. Watch the Throne was the collab album of all collab albums. Jay-Z and Kanye released Watch the Throne in 2011, and we've never seen two superstars hop on an album and produce such a masterpiece. If you break down Watch the Throne, you go from the beginning to the end. Kanye kind of commandeers the beginning of the album, and Jake closes out strong like MJ in the fourth quarter. The next album on this list is going to be Kanye West, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy was probably Kanye's greatest album. The production, the composition, the lyrics, Chris Rock, every single artist you could probably possibly think of that was hot at that time and is probably still hot right now was on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Kanye definitely came through with the beats, came through with the rhymes, with the lyrics, and it's an amazing album front to back. Now we just need Kanye to stop living a dark twisted fantasy, and maybe we could get some of that good music back again. Next up on the list, well, the next two on the list, we've got Good Kid, Mad City by Kendrick Lamar, and we've got Damn by Kendrick Lamar. Kendrick just defined this entire decade with bars, and if you were a guy like me, if you were over 30 and you were used to listening to music at a certain level, with a certain level of metaphor, a certain level of storytelling, Kendrick delivered in Good Kid, Mad City and Damn, and has delivered all decade. I'd go so far to say as Kendrick might be the hip hop artist of the decade. We're not talking about album sales. We're not talking about streams. We're talking about pure bars, pure talent, and just the freedom that probably Drake has created this decade also. The freedom to express yourself in songs. And we know everything that we know about Kendrick through his music because he doesn't talk, just like Colin Kaepernick. Next up on the list, we've got the greatest MC of all time, J.A.Y. Hova, Jay-Z with 444. A lot different than a lot of other Jay-Z albums. He actually has a song on the album where he apologizes to his wife Beyonce for cheating. He talks about going to therapy. He talks about generational wealth. He talks about being a dad to 3 kids. It's an amazing piece of work. It's an amazing piece of work to understand that this is where he's at in life. So this is what his art is going to reflect. His art is going to reflect his life. It's not going to reflect being a gangster and being fake about it and then snitching about it like Tekashi. The next album on the list is going to go to this decade's probably number 2 MC, J. Cole, with 2014 Forest Hills Drive. I saw 2014 Forest Hills Drive in concert, and it was just as impactful and just as meaningful as it was when I first heard it months before when it released. He's got a bunch of different tracks on there. Like I said, that Drake has started this whole wave of artists being able to really express themselves and talk to their fans and talk to the people that listen to their music. And J. Cole did an amazing job of that in 2014 Forest Hills Drive. We're going to round out the list with the next 4 albums. So we're going to go with Rosé, Rick Ross with Teflon Don, an album I still blast to this very day. Next up, we've got the disrespectful Daytona. Pusha T really closed out this decade really strong with My Name Is My Name, and then closed it out with Daytona, which came out last year. Of course, we all remember Pusha T from the Drake beef, but Daytona had bars and beats that were unmatched. It's just a shame we have to give Kanye credit for that also. The last two albums of the 2010s that I'm going to go with, Wale, the album about nothing, amazing track list. The Matrimony, he's that guy along with Drake and J. Cole and Kendrick that can express themselves on records and it'd be fire and it'd be hot. And then the last one is going to be one that's a little outside of the box. If you are into bars, into rhymes like I am, you probably heard this and blasted it frequently throughout the past 10 years. And that's going to be Hell, Bad Meets Evil. That's an album featuring Royce da 5'9" and Eminem. This is probably the last album that you could like look at and reference where Eminem was dropping bars and didn't sound like a Pixar character on tracks. These are the top 10 hip hop albums of the 2010s. You're going to read a lot of lists on websites, see stuff on TV, see other videos. This is the definitive list. If there are any albums on this list that you have not listened to yet, make sure you open your Spotify, your Apple Music, your SoundCloud, your Tidal, any place where you stream music, and get these albums in your life immediately. Once again, guys, thanks for joining me. Thanks for tuning into this web exclusive. It's your King Speech podcast host, Trev. Peace out.